Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Beldin. Today we are going to be painting a VR gamer girl. This model only had a few pieces, but they were a bit larger. These are the models I really have fun painting. With the larger models, I find it easier to do the supports when I'm printing in my printer. I also find that it's easier to get in and sand on those pieces. It also gives you a little bit more room for mistakes. With the little pieces, every little tiny detail seems to stand out. With these larger models, you can kind of hide your mistakes a little bit easier. With my models, I print them with an Elegoo gray resin, and then I do a white primer coat with Vallejo base white primer. Now that the white primer is done, I'm using a salmon rose. The salmon rose seems to be my go-to color. I've noticed over many of my models. I tend to fall back to that for the base shading layer. It gives a nice depth and color for all my models. No matter what skin shade I end up with, that's a nice baseline to use for shading. On her skin tone, I ended up using a sun yellow and then came in with a light flesh over top of that. So I ended up doing 3 layers on her skin to get the shading that I wanted. I forgot to paint her neck, so I had to come in and I masked her shirt off, did a quick skin coat on her neckline. On the base piece, you can't really see it, but I'm doing a black layer around the base ring, and then I come in with some blue silver space dust, and I finish that base off. With the head, I ended up using some of my new Vallejo ruby red set. Now the mask is off her shirt, so I come in and I'm just doing some shading. I did a little bit of gray and white and watered it down and just painted that over her shirt to give her a little bit of depth. I used that same gray and white to paint the base of her feet, so to give her color, her socks, some discoloration. Now that her skin tone is done on her hands, I'm coming in and I am painting the little VR controllers. I use an Oculus, so my controllers are white, but I went with a black theme for this. For her head strap, I just did a simple black coat, just hand painted black on that as well. For the buttons on the controller, I used a couple different colors, black and blue. I used a silver for one of them. Touching up her fingernails. When I was painting, I had a little bit of wet paint on my glove, and I was touching the model, and I had smeared it on her leg, so you'll see me with a Q-tip wiping off some of that excess paint, and that's why I do a coat between each layer, so in case I do make a mistake, because I am prone to making many of them during my painting process, I can go in there and easily remove those little mess ups and keep going. Now that her hair is finished, I'm coming in with a layer of that shade from the ruby red metallic set, and I think that really added a lot more depth to her hair as well. We are just doing a little bit of touch up here, fixing up her VR headset. Things are about done, so now I'm coming in with that light pink and touching up the hair that was mask and that I didn't quite hit with the airbrush. I'm just painting it by hand now. On her earpieces for her headset, I started off with a light pink, but it was way too close to her hair because it was the same color. So I come back in with a darker red, a ruby red, and I finish off her earpieces with that. We are about finished, so I am just touching up the last elements on her face, doing a little bit of blush, painting in her teeth, and then we have the final results. If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. I have another model I'm working on that'll be done here in a couple weeks. It's another model from an artist I have subscribed to, so I am very excited to painting it, and I will look forward to seeing everyone in a couple weeks. And in the meantime, keep creating.